Okay, finding mass percent from chemical formulae or formulas, right? So finding mass percent from chemical formulas. So the trick to finding mass percent is always, well, any percent, right, is part per whole. It's a fraction, and so to convert it to a percent form, we're going to say times 100%. All right. So for example, if I have 4 men in 10 people, my percent men is going to be 40%, right? And the reason I got that by saying 4 divided by 10 times 100, right? You can see it'd be 40% if it's something as concrete as that, but you can see it, you know, something as familiar to you as men and women and people and such. If I have 4 men and 10 people, I have 40% men, okay? So it's a part per whole that we're always driving toward. So I get something like this, and I say, all right, calculate the mass percent of oxygen in calcium phosphate. So first I'm going to just identify what I'm really looking for. So what I'm looking for is grams of oxygen in grams of calcium phosphate, right? Times 100%. So that's what I've got. That's what I'm looking for, and all I've done now is just to define the mass percent. All right, so there's a couple ways we can do this. One way we can do it is we can say, let's suppose that we have 1 mole, right? One mole of this stuff, because I don't know how much I have, right? So I could suppose I had 1 gram of this, right? It doesn't really matter what I suppose first, but if I suppose I have 1 mole, then I'm going to say how much calcium phosphate and how much oxygen. This is the way I'm going to do it. I'm going to come here and say my moles, formula weight, and mass, right? We've done this a bunch of times. Give a couple extra notes here. This is in moles, this is in grams per mole, and this is in grams. And so if I suppose I start with 1 mole of this stuff, how many moles of oxygen am I going to have? If I have 1 mole of this, then 1 mole of the whole thing, then it looks like I've got 8 so far, 8 moles of oxygen, or rather 4 moles of oxygen here, but it's times 2, so it's going to be 8, right? That we did in a previous topic, converting moles to moles. All right, so if I've got 1 mole of calcium phosphate, I have 8 moles of oxygen. All right, now what's the formula weight of oxygen? It's 16.00. I think the calculator in Alex is 15.9994, I think, which rounds to 16.0 if we're doing it to 4 sig figs. So let's say 16.00 for now. And let's find the formula weight of calcium phosphate. Well, I'm going to need a new layer here because it's calcium phosphate's a booger. It's a big one. So let's go here and let's say calcium 3 phosphate, right? So calcium, so it looks like it's going to be 3 times calcium plus 2 times phosphorus plus 8 times oxygen, right? 3, I gotta look this up. I don't even have this in front of me. What am I doing? I should have started out with this. Let's go periodic table, Okay, after I get my periodic table up, I'm going to, I'm not going to Google it. I'm tempted to Google what's the formula weight of calcium phosphate. If the stakes were high, that's exactly what I would do. All right, sorry for the delay in my internet connection. Periodic table. I need masses. Looked at the wrong one. There you go. Calcium is 40.078. Let's go here That's 40.078 plus 2 times phosphorus. Let's go back here. Phosphorus is 30.974. Plus 8 times oxygen. Since we're using that periodic table, let's go back over and see what oxygen is. 15.999. Okay. $15.999 is equal to, and I'm going to use my calculator here, not one in front of you. I'm just going to type in clear 3 times 40.078 equals 120.234 plus, just a minute here, calculator's messed up, 2 times 30.974 equals 61.948. 61.948 plus 8 times 15.999 equals 127.992. 127.992. Now I'm going to add these all up. Before I do though, I'm going to say, is this about, I'm going to estimate. See, 3 times 40 is about 120. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm doing this to save myself a mistype, which is not uncommon. 2 times 30 or 31. 2 times 31 is about 62. Yep, that's right. And 8 times 16, I cannot do that in my head. I know 4 times 16 is 64. Yeah, and 64 times 2 is 128. So yeah, this is about right. 8 times 16 is about 128. Yeah, that's right. 120 plus 62 plus 128 is 310. Okay. So when I put this in my calculator, it ought to be about 310. So 127.992 is still in my calculator, plus 61.948 plus 120.234 equals 310.174. 174. Okay. So let me get rid of the, oh, I'm also going to do, there's my 8 times oxygen. You see it? So I'm not gonna have to calculate that twice. 127.992. Let me write that down. 127.992 and 310.174. Now I'm gonna get rid of this layer here and go back over here and see, okay, let me write on top of here. This was 127.992, and this mass was 310.174, okay? So it looks like now my grams of oxygen is going to be 127.992. This is 310.174, and I'm going to divide that, right? 310.174. 127.992 equals 0.412645 times 100 equals 41.26 equals 41.26%, right? And my 41.26% is supposed to round to the nearest percentage. So I'm going to report this as 41% in my Alex, and that is right. Oh, last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say, does this make sense? So it's a little difficult to see because oxygen, calcium's so big, phosphorus is big, so it's hard to say, but we have a lot of oxygens in there. You see you have 8 oxygens, and so yeah, that makes sense. That would be 41%. If it was 4%, that would not make sense. And if it was 400%, that wouldn't make sense, right? So again, the last thing I want to do is just ask myself, does this make sense before I answer it in my quiz or exam and get my points for it. All right, I hope that's helpful. Good luck to you.